How the boys feeling day before the World Champions? I mean, I'm guessing there's a huge buzz about the place.
There's a good vibe around this week. Obviously, our 6-day turnaround, we've been working really hard to get our bodies right, review everything that went well and what we can work on from the Australia game. And as you say, get excited about the World Champs coming to BT Marfield. There's a good vibe around the camp. There's a lot of nervous energy. Boys are pretty chilled out in camp, which is always great to see. So, the mood in camp is very good. Yeah,
6-day turnaround, probably from the outside looking in, isn't ideal. But how do you counterbalance that? Is it just a case of a slightly lighter week going into this game?
Yeah, obviously we potentially missed a day of training. Sometimes it works for you, sometimes it works against you. I think for us, we knew fine well it was going to be a 6-day turnaround. It's something that we just accepted and had to get on with. We can't change it. But look, we feel we're in a good place. As I say, we've worked really hard to get our bodies right, to make sure we're best prepared for this game. Training has been a little bit shorter, but the intensity's been right up there. As I say, boys, I've really enjoyed the preparation going into this game. So look, we're excited to come around to the game time tomorrow.
You will become the most capped fullback in the history of men's Test rugby tomorrow, which is quite an incredible achievement. I know you'll be thinking about the team and the win, and that will be uppermost in your mind. But you know, some of the greats of the game have played in that position. Stuart, I mean, it must mean a lot to you to hit that personal milestone.
I wasn't aware of that. I genuinely wasn't aware of that.
I know you are. How do you feel?
Like I think for me, I just love playing rugby. I love playing for Scotland. For me, I'm constantly living a dream. But for me, I've got a job to do tomorrow, and I'm going to do everything I possibly can to make sure that I contribute to the best of my ability towards a Scotland win.
The Springboks have had a habit recently, well, for a long time, of coming on strong in the last 20. We saw that against Wales last weekend. You guys have always prided yourself on your fitness. Do you believe that could be key this weekend to withstand that late onslaught from the Boks?
Yeah, I think a lot of boys have had the opportunity to play against South Africa through time, and they're an unbelievable team. They've got some of the best individual rugby players, and they're world champions for a reason. I think if you watched the game last week, they grew into the game as the longer it went on. The impact of their bench was fairly impressive. So we know it's going to take a huge 80-minute performance, but for us, we're excited about the challenge. We're ready to relish the challenge, to face the challenge, and we're very much looking forward to it. I think they are an unbelievable side, but like everything, there are weaknesses within it, and hopefully tomorrow we can exploit that. I think we need to be patient in what we're trying to do. Also stand up to their physicality. I think if we can stand up to that and out muscle them, we give ourselves every opportunity to win. And yes, to answer your question, I think we are fitter. I think we are a team that work incredibly hard to finish off games to the best of our ability, but we can't wait 60 minutes, 50, 60 minutes to get into the game. We need to start it in the best way possible.
Thanks, Stuart. Good luck.
Thank you, mate.
Hey, Stuart. Short one from me. Basically, you've obviously played the Lions. You've played South Africa twice this year. Describe to us just how difficult it is to beat them, and what does it take to beat them?
It's very difficult. As you see in the summer, they've got a game plan unique to themselves, and it's the game plan they've had for forever, and it's a game plan that works incredibly well for them. So we're going to face as a back three, and where we find themselves in the backfield, we're going to find ourselves in positions to be under the high ball. Something we've worked hard on all week, something that I'm looking forward to. And yeah, they're very, very physical. They've got jackal threats all over their team. So in terms of our defence, our attack and breakdown, we have to be really squeaky clean and make sure we source that. We are able to blast past the contact and keep that ball safe for us. And if we can continue to do that for multi-phase, then I think that's the times that will challenge South Africa. So we're fully aware of what we're about, what we can do, and we just have to go out there tomorrow and execute it to the best of our ability.
It's interesting that you talk about being able to cope with the high ball, because Sia Khaleesi mentioned you specifically in his presser. He said he watched the way that you kick, and as a team, they've studied you. Do you consider that a compliment, or is it just knowing that you can walk onto the pitch tomorrow with that extra bit of confidence?
I think for me, I just concentrate on being the best version of myself for 80 minutes. And I know I've got a job to do. I know that the 14 other boys alongside me and the 8 that are going to come off the bench have got a massive impact to be had in this game. And we're very much looking forward to it.
Thanks very much.
Stuart, does it help that you've played them so recently personally, that you look back on a few things that you can learn from those games, and you can brush up on? Think things you learned about them as well that you can maybe take into and even talk to your teammates about as well?
I think that there's a large number of boys, as you say, there's 8 of us there with the coaches that have a huge idea what South Africa are about, but that was a fair bit of time away now. I think for us, we kind of looked a lot at the Welsh game last week. They say you're only as good as your last game, and that Welsh game last week was a perfect opportunity for us to look at their strengths, to look at their opportunities. I know it's going to be a huge game. It's a huge game. It's nothing better for us than having the world champions at BT Marfield. And these are the games you want to be involved in.
You mentioned obviously the 6-day kind of gap between the games, but obviously it was a huge win on last weekend as well. Is it mentally, is it as well a focus to try and refocus on something so soon, because you've had a huge high, you've now got another massive test? What do you have to do mentally to switch from that that win last weekend to another huge challenge?
It's fairly easy. It's fairly easy, to be honest, because straight after that game we kind of talked about the job only being half done, and by that I meant that we had played 2 games and we still got 2 games to go. So as soon as that game was done, we can obviously enjoy the celebrations, enjoy the victory, but fully understand that a day later we're starting to prep for the next game. And the mindset, the boys, the coaches, everybody involved in the camp were very much focused on this game. And that came straight from after the game, as I say. So it's an easy transition. Obviously, it's quite tough on the body. But as I say, we've got the best S&C staff here to make sure we're right, best medics to make sure we're right. And we've got a clean bill of health. So that's all we can ask for.